Good morning, everyone. Hope you are doing well. Myself, Surendhranatha Reddy from Department of Management. Today, we'll be talking about very interesting topic as the entire world is revolving around analytics. Today, we'll talk about the topic called as the business analytics and what are the types of business analytics. Right? First, to begin with, business analytics is a concept which tells about how business is using data, analyzing it, getting the insights from analysis of data, and making decisions based on the insights which a business is getting from the analysis of data. So when you talk about the types of analytics, there are 4 types of analytics that we have, right? So it is descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive analytics. So these 4 types of analytics are fundamental that every business may be using for various reasons in order to get best solution possible for a given problem. And today we see a business is facing a lot of problems, right, in their day-to-day activities. And they must be looking for the possible solution which can help them to control their business activities by solving this particular problem. So today we will be having a look at what are these 4 types of business analytics and how these analytics can help business to solve their problems, day-to-day problems which they face in their business activities. So we'll start with first descriptive analytics. We consider it as the most fundamental analytics. Right? It is the most fundamental analytics that we consider. And what happens in this descriptive analytics? You are trying to interpret historical data. There's a data presented to you. You're going to analyze the data, understand, okay, what happened. So it will answer the question, what has happened, right? Because we consider it as is a fundamental analysis of given data. So for any analyst, to begin with, he needs to know what has happened, right? Because based on what has happened, then you are going to find a solution. Without knowing what has happened, no business is going to find a solution. And it allows you to have a bigger look at what happened in the past. Okay, so look at the examples. So Google Analytics is the best example we can take where it will help business to understand, to know the success of their promotional campaign. In the sense, if any business is doing a promotional campaign online, Google Analytics will generate the analysis of data and it will give you results. And the results will tell you whether your promotional campaign has become successful online or not. So it's a very fundamental analysis that a business will be carrying this analysis on day-to-day basis, right? So descriptive analytics is considered as the most fundamental analysis of data. And businesses use this analysis for various reasons. Number 1, to know what actually is the problem which they are facing when it comes to key areas like sales, revenue, production, distribution, logistics, pricing of a product, branding a product, promoting a product. There are some common areas where businesses will be using descriptive analytics, so which will help the businesses to progress further by identifying the problem what they are facing currently. So descriptive analytics is the fundamental analysis which will help the businesses to go ahead with understanding what is the problem. The next one is diagnostic analysis. As the name suggests that, diagnostic is basically the nature of finding the reason for a problem, right? So there is a problem and why it is happened, right? So it focuses on the past performance to determine which elements influence a specific trends. This is done using a drill down, data discovery and data mining and correlation. So these are the techniques which will help diagnostic analysis to happen. So it will answer the question why it is happened. So we understood through descriptive what is happened. The next step is to know why it is happened, right? So there will be a reason for every problem, right? So like when you go to a doctor will ask you some leading questions to find out what happened first. Then only you will understand why it is happened. So diagnostic is the next step of analysis after descriptive analysis. And please note that without descriptive analysis, you can't do a diagnostic analysis, right? So this analysis is used by businesses to understand what is the problem and get an in-depth insight into the given problem. So they will understand why it is happened based on the data which is supplied and based on the analysis what you have, and it will help you to understand why it is happened and what are the reasons for something it is happened. So the example what I like to quote is that e-commerce companies like Amazon can use the data what they have, right? Okay, so in order to find out how each product category is doing, right, which is posted in their website. So there are so many products which are posted in the website of Amazon, so they can easily understand, right, which product category has a good sales and good profit margin, right, and which product category is suffering, maybe because of less sales, and definitely they will not have much profits. So diagnostic analytics is the next step in analysis, where it will help you to identify an answer for a question why it is happened, right? So this is another fundamental analysis for businesses. Of course, once you find a problem, you want to know why this problem is happened, right? So when you know why it is happened, then only you can identify a solution for your problem. So diagnostic analysis is the next step of analysis. Moving on to the third type of analytics, that is predictive analytics. So predictive analytics, as the name suggests, that when you know what happened and why it is happened, you're going to predict what is going to happen, right? So because the future is completely uncertain, there's a lot of risk involved for any business, and you need to understand what is going to happen, and that will prepare you to some extent for facing any kind of a risk or uncertainty which is going to happen in the future. So it basically uses statistics to forecast and assess future outcomes using certain models. So this kind of analytics is based on developing some models and run your data with the help of the model, and you're going to predict what is going to happen. And definitely predictive analysis cannot happen without descriptive and diagnostic analysis. So first you need to do descriptive, followed by diagnostic, then only you can move on to predictive analysis. So the results of both descriptive and diagnostic can help you to create those models which can determine what could be the specific outcomes in the future, right? So it answers the question, what could happen in the future? So how can I say that is something going to happen in the future now? It is based on the data what I have and based on the answer for what is happened and why it is happened. Then only you can predict what could happen in the future. So I have taken an example of Walmart and Amazon. So two biggest retail online sellers, right? They use the predictive analysis to identify trends in sales based on the purchase patterns of customers, and also forecasting how customers can behave in the future. You take an example, a particular product has the demand. It has highest sales among all other product categories, maybe in Amazon or Walmart. So that is an indication. So even in the future, the consumers are going to demand for such products. So you can predict that a particular product category can have higher sales in the future based on what sales that you have created in the past. So predictive analysis is basically futuristic. So it will tell you what is going to happen in the future, but again it is based on the data what you have and based on the results of descriptive and diagnostic analysis. Okay, so there is a very simple thumb rule in analysis of data. As the data is bigger and larger, your results are going to be more accurate. If the data is not sufficient, your results are not going to be accurate and your prediction is not going to be accurate. That's why many times the businesses make a big mistake by analyzing small quantity of data and trying to predict their future. Sometimes your predictions may go wrong and the uncertainty will push you into bigger troubles. So the predictive analysis should be based on huge amount of data and results of descriptive and diagnostic analytics. Moving on to the last type of business analytics, that is prescriptive. As the name suggests that it is going to prescribe a solution for a problem, right? How can I prescribe a solution? Yes, I should know what is happened. I should know why it is happened. I should know what is going to happen. And that will give me a lot of insights to understand what is the problem and check what are the available solutions, choose the best and implement, right? So as the analysis says that it is also futuristic, but it will use the past data, right? And it will recommend what could be the solutions for a given problem. So the prescriptive analytics advises on possible outcomes and the possible results, right, which are likely to maximize your business metrics. Nothing but there are some key performance areas in your business which can be maximized its performance. So it will answer the question, what should be done to solve the problem, right? So I've taken a best example to understand. Okay, so Aurora Healthcare System, they saved around $6 million annually by using prescriptive analytics to reduce readmission rates by 10%. Okay, so just imagine, so all these 4 types of analytics can help a business to make wonders in their day-to-day business activities, right? So, but how can I use these analysis in the right way? It's all depending upon what data that you are collecting, and it is depending upon the analysis process, and it is depending upon what results that you got through all 4 types of analysis. At the same time, the analyst should have the knowledge about any given domain or a discipline. If the analyst doesn't have much knowledge about a domain, definitely the solutions what you're going to find may not be accurate and will not solve your problem completely. So these 4 types of analytics are a very routine analytics that every business uses in their day-to-day business activities, and definitely these analytics are also applicable to our life. As human beings, right, we are also facing a lot of problems in our day-to-day life, and definitely data what we are going to generate and use can do wonders and help us to solve solutions in the long run, right? So it is a continuous cycle. As you find a problem, understand why it is happened, understand what is going to happen, make a solution for the problem, implement and continue. So this is a continuous process. There is no end for this process as long as your business is sustaining, right, and achieving its objectives. And this analysis is going to help your business to reach your end targets and make all your stakeholders happy, and at the same time, okay, they can help our society and world at large to flourish and prosper in all aspects. So to summarize the entire the types of business analytics, I can say that we don't restrict to only understanding about these analytics, and as a human beings or as part of business world, you can use them on a day-to-day basis so that it will give you better insights and it can help your management to come with better decision making. So in business we call something called as informed decision making. So informed decision making is nothing but where you make decisions based on complete information. So when you don't make decisions based on complete information, your decisions may be wrong, right? So you may not get the results what you are expecting. So hoping that today's session is very informative for you, and definitely I believe that there are a lot of takeaways from today's presentation, and thank you very much.